Hello, English learners, and welcome back here at English Pod. My name is James.
And I'm Emma.
Today we're talking about a really exciting, and yes, even a little romantic, topic.
That's right. We're going to talk about the new guy in town.
Exactly. This topic was actually suggested by one of our listeners who wanted us to bring a little fun and mystery to our lesson.
Yes, so keep those suggestions coming because we want to create lessons you want and need.
Absolutely. So, Emma, there's a new guy in town. Rumors say he's quite charming, right?
Oh, yes. Everyone's talking about him. Apparently, he moved in just last week. I've heard he's already become quite popular.
Really? Well, that didn't take long. Do we know anything about him?
Not much, actually. That's what makes it so fun. He's like this mystery guy who just appears out of nowhere, and suddenly everyone's curious.
It's like one of those romantic movie scenes where the new guy steps off the train and everyone in town is just staring, wondering, who's that?
Exactly. And, small towns can be a bit curious, right? I bet everyone is just watching him, like, who is this guy?
And you know what's even more interesting? I heard he's already been spotted at the local coffee shop. Some people say he has this mysterious smile.
A mysterious smile? Oh, now that sounds very intriguing. Do you think he's aware that people are talking about him?
I bet he has an idea. Imagine just sitting there with his coffee, all cool and collected, while everyone around is whispering and trying not to stare.
Oh, yes. I can totally picture that. And James, it's funny because people just get so excited when there's someone new in town, especially someone who brings a little mystery.
Right? It's like people are always looking for a bit of excitement in their everyday lives. And a new person, especially someone who's interesting, it's like the whole town lights up.
Yes. And I heard he might be staying for a while. He rented that cute little house on Maple Street, the one with the blue door.
Oh, really? That's a great spot. Right near the park, too. Perfect for a morning walk. Or maybe a romantic evening stroll.
Now you're getting carried away, James. But you're right. People will probably start accidentally bumping into him at the park.
Of course! It'll be like, oh, what a surprise seeing you here again.
Exactly. And let's be real, everyone's probably thinking the same thing. Who is he? What's his story? And is he single?
Yes. Emma, this reminds me of a classic romantic movie where the new person just steers up all this excitement in town. People start imagining all these stories about him.
Right? It's like he's a character in a book or a movie, and we're all just waiting to see what happens next.
Speaking of stories, I bet he has some interesting ones himself. You don't just move to a new town without a reason, right?
True. Maybe he's looking for a fresh start, or maybe he has this mysterious past that he's keeping quiet.
Ooh, a mysterious past. Now that sounds juicy. What if he's like an artist, or maybe he's working on some big project and he just needed a quiet place to focus?
Oh, I love that idea. Maybe he's writing a book. The quiet, mysterious writer type who keeps to himself but is secretly observing everything.
Yes. And then one day, someone finds out, like, they see him with a notebook, writing away in the park, looking very serious.
I can just imagine that. And the next thing you know, people start wondering, is he writing about us? Is he putting our little town in his story?
Oh, that would really get people talking. Imagine everyone trying to guess if they're in his story. It'd be like a real-life mystery for them to solve.
And you know what else, James? The fact that he's keeping to himself just makes everyone even more curious.
Exactly. It's like, the less he says, the more people wonder about him.
Yes, like maybe he's shy, or maybe he just likes to keep his distance.
Or maybe he's just soaking everything in before he reveals his true self. It's all so mysterious and exciting.
And I think that's part of the charm, right? He's just this quiet, mysterious guy who's got everyone's imagination running wild.
Absolutely. It's like he's casting a spell on the whole town without even trying.
All right, now I'm even more curious. We need to find out more about him. Do you think we'll get any clues soon?
Well, if he keeps showing up at the coffee shop, maybe someone will get brave enough to go over and start a conversation.
Oh, yes. I can already see it. Someone will go up to him and casually ask, "So, are you new here?"
And then maybe he'll smile that mysterious smile again and say,
Yeah. I say, "Well, yes, I am." And then everyone's curiosity will explode. Imagine the questions. Where did you come from? What brings you here? What do you do?
yes, I can just see it happening. And of course, he'll keep his answers short, which will make everyone even more curious. Like he'd just say, oh, just here for a change of scenery.
A change of scenery. That's the most mysterious answer ever. People are going to go wild with that. They'll start wondering, why here? Why our little town? I bet everyone will have their own theories.
Oh, absolutely. Someone will probably say, maybe he's a famous chef looking for new recipes in our town's cafes. Or maybe he's a musician, like a pianist who's looking for quiet inspiration.
Yes, or maybe he's an artist here to capture the beauty of our town. And who knows, he could be setting up his little art studio in that house on Maple Street right now.
I'd love that. And I bet people would start accidentally walking past his house, hoping to catch a glimpse of him working through the window.
Exactly. And the best part is, he probably won't even notice. He'll just be there, lost in his own world, completely unaware of all the curiosity he's stirred up.
But Emma, here's the big question. Do you think he's single?
Oh, that's what everyone really wants to know, isn't it? The entire town is probably thinking, is he single? Is there a chance for a little romance?
Right? And imagine the excitement if he just walks into the coffee shop one day, sits down, and someone finally gets the courage to ask him out.
Oh, that would be incredible. And imagine the gossip after that. Everyone would be talking about it. Did you hear? The new guy went on a date?
And then it would be like a whole mystery romance for the town to watch unfold. Every time he's seen out with someone, people will be like, is it her? Is she the one?
Yes. And they'll be looking for every little sign, like, did they hold hands? Did they share a smile? Oh, the thrill of it all.
Oh, it's such a classic romantic story. And the funny part is, he might just be completely oblivious to all of it, just living his life while everyone else is invested in his love story.
I know. And that's what makes it so perfect. It's like he's living in his own world and everyone's in the background making up stories about him.
I can totally see it now. And you know, Emma, this whole thing just makes me realize how curious we can be about new people. It's like whenever someone new shows up, there's this natural interest, this feeling of what's their story.
Yes, it's so true. New people bring a sense of excitement. It's like they bring new possibilities with them, new stories, new energy. They change the routine.
And even if we don't know them personally, just knowing they're there in the background of our lives adds a bit of mystery and excitement.
Exactly. It's like having a secret character in the story of our town. We might never know everything about him, but he's there, and that's enough to keep us all intrigued.
And who knows, maybe someday he'll come forward and surprise everyone. He might become one of those unforgettable people, the ones who come into your life and somehow change everything.
Yes, like a real-life fairy tale. And who knows what he'll bring with him? Maybe friendship? Or maybe romance?
Ooh, romance. That would definitely get people's attention. Imagine if he falls in love with someone from town and they become the it couple everyone talks about.
Yes, and they'd go on adorable little dates around town and everyone would be like, oh, there they are!
Exactly. And you know what? I think this new guy is just what our town needs. A little excitement, a little mystery, and maybe even a touch of romance.
Couldn't agree more, James. And hey, who knows, maybe one of us will be brave enough to go talk to him.
Ahaha. Emma, I'll let you take the lead on that one, but I'll be here cheering you on for sure.
All right, deal. But you're coming with me if I do. We'll go together, James safety in numbers, right?
Absolutely.
So it's settled then. We're both going to be detectives. We'll casually scroll by, maybe even pop into the same coffee shop, and who knows, maybe we'll bump into him. Oh, fancy meeting you here.
Yes! We'll act totally natural, like we just happen to be there. No big deal. Just two friendly locals getting a coffee and maybe sneakily checking out the new guy.
Right. But knowing us, I bet we'd give ourselves away in the first 5 minutes. I'd probably be gritting too much, and you'd be giving me that calm down, Emma look.
Oh, definitely. But imagine if he notices and starts talking to us. What would we say?
Oh, I'd probably say something awkward like, so do you like coffee? Asterisk. I'd freeze up. I just know it.
Asterisk. Asterisk. And then I try to cover for you by saying something like, oh, Emma loves coffee. She's basically a coffee expert. Right, Emma?
Oh, thank you for that setup, James. Just throw me into the spotlight, and then I'd have to pretend I know everything about coffee. Yes, this latte has notes of, coffee beans.
Yes, that would be perfect. He'd either find it charming or just think we're absolutely ridiculous. Either way, we'd make an impression.
Oh, we definitely stand out. And maybe he'd actually enjoy it. He'd see that we're friendly, welcoming, and, well, maybe a little quirky.
Yeah, who doesn't love a bit of quirkiness? And I feel like our town has that vibe, you know? Friendly, a little quirky, and full of personality.
Totally. It's like everyone in town has their own little quirks. And that's what makes it feel like a community. We'd welcome him right into the fun of it all.
Exactly. And who knows? Maybe he's quirky too. Maybe he's got his own little habits and routines that would just add to the charm.
Oh, I can see it now. Maybe he always orders the same drink, or he always sits at the same table. Something small but interesting. And we'd all notice it, of course.
And soon enough, everyone in town would know his little habits. It'd become this funny, unspoken thing like, oh, there's the new guy at his usual spot with his usual drink.
Yes. And the barista would have his order ready before he even gets to the counter. That's when you know you're part of the town, right?
Absolutely. It's like a little sign of belonging. When people know your order, your habits, it feels like you're home.
And that's really what it's all about, isn't it? Just finding that place where you feel comfortable, where people know you and accept you, quirks and all.
Yes, exactly. I think everyone's looking for that in a way, even if it's just a small coffee shop in a little town, a place where you're known, where you're welcomed.
And who knows, maybe that's why he came here. Maybe he wanted to find a place where people remember your name, where you're part of a community.
Yeah, maybe he's looking for that kind of warmth and connection. I think that's something a lot of people want but don't always find.
True. Sometimes it's easy to get lost in the crowd, especially in a big city. But here, in a smaller town, it feels more personal.
Exactly. People remember each other. They look out for each other. It's nice, you know? Maybe he'll realize that's what he's been missing.
And honestly, James, it makes me feel kind of proud of our little town. We may not have the bright lights of the city, but we have something special here.
Couldn't agree more, Emma. There's a real charm to it, and I hope he feels that too. I hope he sees how welcoming and warm people here can be.
And who knows, maybe he'll stay for good. Maybe he'll find his place here with his usual coffee and his favorite corner table.
I'd love that. It's like he became part of our town's story, one of those people who just belongs here, you know?
Yes, part of the story, part of the memories. It's funny how one person can come in and bring so much new energy and excitement.
And maybe that's what we needed too. Little shake up, a new face, a fresh story to add to our own.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe he'll even inspire some of us to try something new, to meet new people, to be a little braver.
I like that, Emma. Sometimes it's the smallest things that inspire the biggest changes. And maybe this new guy, well, maybe he's just what we need.
You know, James, you're right. It's funny how someone new can bring this whole fresh perspective, even to the simplest things. Like, it makes you want to look at our town with new eyes, like it's the first time you're seeing it.
Yes. I mean, we walk the same streets every day, see the same buildings, go to the same places. But through his eyes, it's all brand new. Imagine what he must be thinking.
Oh, definitely. Like, he could be noticing little things we don't even think about anymore, like the old bookstore on the corner, or the bakery that always smells like fresh bread in the morning.
Or even our quirky town clock that's always a few minutes off. You know, the one no one actually uses to tell time, but everyone talks about.
Yes, that clock has become a little town joke. I bet he'll ask someone about it eventually, and they'll just laugh and say, oh, that's just the way it is here.
Exactly, and I think that's what makes this place so charming. Every little thing, even a broken clock, has its own story, its own personality.
And once he learns those little stories, he'll be in on the joke too. It's like the moment you know about the clock, you're one of us.
Yes, it's the town's unofficial initiation, knowing the quirks. You're officially part of the club once you've embraced the charm or the strangeness.
And it's not just the places either. I think he'll find that the people here have their own quirks too. I mean, look at us. We're already half plotting to run into him just to say hello.
True. We're already planning the accidental meeting. But that's the beauty of a small town, right? People are curious, they're friendly, maybe a little nosy, but it's all out of kindness.
Exactly. It's not that we want to intrude, it's more that we care. We want everyone to feel like they're part of something here.
And that's what makes it special, don't you think? It's like a big extended family. Even if you're new, there's always a place for you.
Yes, and I bet he'll start to feel that soon. Maybe he's already starting to notice it, the friendly smiles, people nodding as they walk by.
Oh, I bet. I mean, he's got to notice that everyone says hello to him on the street. He's probably thinking, do they all know me already?
Oh, yes. I can imagine him walking around, wondering if he somehow has "new guy" written on his forehead.
That would be so funny. But honestly, I hope he sees it for what it is. Just a warm welcome, people trying to make him feel at home.
I think he will. I think he'll see that people here are just genuine. They really want him to feel comfortable, to feel like he belongs.
And who knows, maybe he'll end up joining in on our traditions, coming to the town festivals, cheering at the local games, all of it.
Oh, he has to. I mean, once you've been to the summer festival, you're basically a local. It's like a rite of passage here.
True. We should invite him, actually, make sure he doesn't miss out on all the little things that make this place feel like home.
Great idea. And you know what, James? I think you're onto something. Inviting him is like saying, hey, you're welcome here. We want you to be a part of our story, too.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, that's what this town is, a collection of stories. Everyone who comes here adds a little bit of their own.
And he's just starting his chapter with us. I'm actually kind of excited to see what he brings to the story.
Me too, Emma. Me too. It feels like a fresh start, not just for him, but for all of us, in a way.
And I think that's the magic of it, James. New people remind us of what's special about our own lives. They help us see everything with a little more light.
You're so right. Here's to the new guy and to whatever adventures he brings our way.
Yes, here's to him and all the adventures he's going to bring. You know, it's a bit funny to think how one person can have such an effect on us changing up our daily routine without even realizing it.
Absolutely. It's like his presence has breathed a little fresh air into our days. It's got me more excited about our town, too, and seeing all those things we usually take for granted.
And who knows, maybe he'll even teach us a few things. Sometimes new people bring new ideas and new perspectives. I think he could really surprise us.
You're right, Emma. Sometimes the way someone else sees the world can open our eyes to things we'd never even thought of. I wonder if he's already picked up on some of our local quirks and traditions.
Oh, I'm sure he has. Maybe he's trying to figure out why we all love that little diner by the park, or why everyone gathers at the town square on Friday nights.
I bet he's still a bit confused, but curious about all the little traditions we just do without a second thought.
But that's what makes it so fun, right? Watching someone discover everything we've always known but maybe forgot to appreciate. It's like seeing it all fresh.
Exactly. I think we all need that reminder sometimes that life here really is special. And maybe he'll remind us that there's always more to learn and explore.
I agree. It's like he's giving us the gift of curiosity. And honestly, I think it's a good reminder to keep welcoming people with open arms, no matter who they are or where they're from.
Yes. Welcoming someone new is like saying, you belong here too. Your story matters to us. And I'm excited to see his story unfold with ours.
It's kind of beautiful, isn't it? Everyone comes here with their own dreams, their own journey, and bit by bit, they weave their lives into the fabric of this town.
And that's how we keep growing as a community, as friends. Each new person adds a little more color to the picture, a little more meaning.
Absolutely. And hey, maybe one day he'll be the one welcoming the next new person in town. He'll be sharing his own stories and helping them feel at home.
That's such a nice thought. It's like the kindness and warmth just keep getting passed along, person to person. It's a reminder that even small gestures matter.
So true, James. At the end of the day, we all want to feel like we belong somewhere. And I think he's going to find that here with us.
I think so too. And Emma, it's been so nice talking about this with you. I feel even more connected to our town and to the people here.
Same here, James. I think we should make a point of really looking at our town with those fresh eyes every now and then. It's a wonderful place, and we're lucky to be part of it.
Definitely. Thanks for sharing this conversation, Emma. It's been so much fun. And to everyone listening, thank you for joining us on this little journey about welcoming someone new and rediscovering our own home.
Yes. And remember, wherever you are, take a moment to notice the little things around you. You never know what you'll find if you look a little closer.
All right, that's it from us for today. Take care, everyone, and keep those hearts open to new people and new experiences.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and we can't wait to chat with you again soon.
Goodbye, and keep spreading that small town kindness wherever you are.